This video is for entertainment and demonstration purposes only. Please consult a certified automotive technician for your automotive needs.
Hey, guess what, guys? I got another one for you. I'm doing a power steering motor. Something that these Cobalts like to go through. Now, I'll get more into it throughout the video. But the way the Cobalts works, you have the power steering module and the power steering motor. Power steering motor is cheap and easy to replace. The power steering module, well, the column, the computer, and the torque sensor are one whole unit and you can't replace the individual parts. That makes it about a $900 part from the dealer, plus what they charge to put it in, and you have to let them put it in because it has to be programmed, and that's why these Cobalts are ending up in the junkyard now. But hopefully I got lucky and it's just the motor. I mean, the whole car was browning out. So, let me show you the first step to getting to it. Alright, so you're taking, I would use a trim tool, but I don't have any. Carefully put this in here, give it a bit of a twist. You can see where the clips are in here. Yeah. There we go. I'll bring it down here so you can see it. Right here. This is the clips right here and here. You don't have to pull this back all the way. And then you got this panel over here. So you're going to insert this here. Give it a bit of a pry. You're going to see where the first one is here. And then the other one is right here. There you go. And likewise over here. There's 3 of them there. Oh, the other devices take everything out of this door. My sunglasses and my keys. And you're going to see the connector here. Here's the panel outside the car. This is what the switch looks like when it's in the panel. The way it comes out here, see a little tab here, but you use your pick. You're going to push it in with this, just like so. Once you get it below the rim there, so you push that in. Once you get in below the rim, you have to do the same on the other side, but remember, you'll have the panel popped out already. Here's the other tab that you're going to press in with that pick. Right. What you would do is you hold a little pressure on that to make sure it doesn't come back up the other way. I think I got it here. But anyhow, yep, that's how you press it in, and that's how it slides right out. You see, you have to hold it upside down because on the bottom of the switch, you're going to take a pick, pry it in like so, lift up on it slightly. You know, if you need to use your thumbs to pull back on the connector, you don't want to pull on the wiring harness. Come on, buddy. There we go. That's how that comes out here. And then you see the one other clip here. I'm back outside the car here. You see the one clip here and the one over there. You want to pry that carefully, and that's pretty much how you're going to pop that whole panel off. Well, here it is, already out. So, you know, not too terribly hard on this. Getting that connector off is just going to be the worst of it. But otherwise, you know, it just comes apart like the snap-together toy that this car is. And then, for here, let's see, do I have the, right here on the, there we go. Just pop this in and I have an operational trunk. Now, here's where the connectors are over here for the steering module. They're keyed, so there's only one possible way for them to go in. Now because I was browning out the car and thing, I had to disconnect these plugs and drive without power steering. But here's the power steering motor right here. But here's, see, you have the blue one on the top, the black one on the bottom. You just press into that latch with your thumb. You jiggle it a little bit. Yeah, it can be a bit of a son of a bitch here. Okay, hopefully I'm zoomed in on this adequately here. Come on. There we go. And there we go. I said, there we go. There we go. and then I'll take it to my guys at Healy. They're just going to double check, make sure that this thing didn't take anything else with it, because maybe it started to draw too much current from shorting out. And when your car browns out, all the electronics are not getting the sufficient voltage. They draw more amperage, and that can sometimes help fry the power steering module. The other thing that helps fry the power steering module is the battery in general goes bad, because those Delco batteries are garbage. So make sure you have a good battery and a good charging system. And if your car starts to brown every time you turn the wheel, stop immediately and undo those connectors there until you can have it properly diagnosed and make sure it didn't take anything else with it. And then if you're lucky, maybe it's just a $100 motor. Okay, everyone's wondering what's up now. This is after the fact. Just want to clear up some confusion, because what had happened was I took that panel off the day before I bought the power steering motor, because I wanted the dealer to diagnose the car first, make sure the motor didn't take anything with it. And you hear me say later on in that section, or from there on, I'll show you how to get the switch out later, regarding the trunk release switch, which I had done in the initial recording. I'm thinking, you know what, keep everything together. So I did a little cutting out, little splicing, made getting that panel off, and the trunk release switch, that one shot over there, and then I proceeded with the video. That's the other thing, just to clear up some confusion. So the part where you see me do the switch, that was the next day after I got the power steering motor, and even now as I speak, this is long after I put the motor in. I've driven the car quite a bit. I'll explain more in the end of the video what my results were. So, and that also explains why one day I had this jacket, the other day, one piece of the video I have this jacket, the other I had the purple shirt, and now I'm wearing this green shirt. So I just didn't want to be flooded with comments asking, and it was going to be too much to put in a text effect, so I just made a whole section right here, right now, explaining things and clarifying any confusion that I'm about to create, because I am a dingling like that. I don't always think things ahead, and I think maybe now I'm just taking advantage of the fact that, yeah, you can add all the afterthoughts you wish in editing. Kind of what I'm doing right now in this section. So, let's get back to the video. Just wanted to clear things up. Just continue watching the video, watch it to the end, and then if you still have any questions, feel free to post them and I'll be happy to answer them. Enjoy! So here I am the next day. The dealer did the diagnosis. The module is fine. Ground is good. Power is good. They checked the charging system. So the conclusion is the power steering motor didn't take anything with it. And this is clear what the blue connector is. And as you can see, it's the best way to put this in. It's basically a basic set of hand tools, the screwdriver to get the panel off, maybe a pick to pop that switch off, that connector off. I'll do a close-up of that after I do this. This is the power steering motor. After taxes, it was about $113. Now that you can put in yourself, doesn't need dealer intervention. The Cobalt was not so doomed after all, and will live to see another day. So, good news on that front, because quite frankly, there's too many new parts in this car that for me to consider sending it to the recycling bin now. But I was also not spending $2,000. That would have been the power steering module. So, here it is. Pretty much, you just look at the new part, and you'll see where the bolts come. They're supposedly two 12mm bolts. So, let's get in on that, shall we? Yeah, it's a little buried under there. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but I'm trying to shine the light on it here. Maybe I can keep it positioned here. Oh, look at that. Keep some light shining on it. But if you follow my finger, there's that bolt right there. I believe it's a 12mm. I'll find out in a moment, but you're just going to take these two bolts out, and then it should just slide right out. Yep, it is a 12mm socket. Be sure to use a 6-point. Then for the top, you're going to use the extension. You're going to use a 3-inch extension with this deep 12 millimeter, and that's more or less how you're going to be able to just jimmy it around a little bit. But I got it engaged to the bolt, loosen it up, and I think you get the idea. You're going to loosen those two bolts, and then it's going to slide right out. Alright, so I got this, the new one's right here. I'm going to show what gets involved with that. It comes with a little packet of grease. You're going to smear it on the splines here, just like so. Yeah, you son of a bitch. There we go. Also going to put some on the surface here, because there's an O-ring that goes here. Like I said, once you know where those two 12 millimeter bolts are, and you want to unplug both the black and the blue connector, you unplug the black one so you're able to move the wire around as needed. There we go. Do just that, like so. There we go. Take a little here if I need to, just there we go. And that's pretty much that over there. Where's my rag? Oh, there it is. Clean up my fingertips. You might have to turn this around. It's not locked to lock. That's why the column has torque sensors, and you know, to tell you which direction to turn the motor. But you still want to have your wheels straight when you do this procedure, just to eliminate any gray areas. So there you go. There's the O-ring. This is going to slide back in like so. There we go. So here it is again. I got the old one here as a model, because I don't know how well it's going to be picked up here. But this can actually go in both ways. And what you want to do is, you want to put it in, you want to put this in, so that way, when it goes in like this, the top of the motor here, the wires are going to be facing towards the firewall. That's the right way to put them in, because it looks like it goes in either way, but I believe that's how I found it. That's the way I want to put it back in. So that's all there is to that. Here's what the 12 millimeter bolt looks like. So now I'm going to screw it in like so. Let me hand tighten it first. Same for the top, and then you just tighten it back up. Alright, so now we're back under here. I'll use the old motor as an example in a moment, because I don't know how well it's going to appear here, but you're going to see why I want those on the top. The thing I wanted to show here is I wanted to put just a little bit of dielectric grease on these connectors here. Let me rest the camera here, see if I can show that. Yeah, use my sunglasses as a shim, I suppose. There we go, it's appearing on the screen. Just to steal out moisture, because you know, wet shoes going to the dash, that kind of stuff. I mean, they even had an O-ring on that. Then, you know, put a little on the latch here, so it can. So if you gotta slide this back off again, it'll do it without any problem. And then what you're gonna do? Take the son of a gun like so. Yep, slide that son of a gun in. Do the same here, likewise. Boom, baby. And there you go. And the dealer wanted $260 just to do this. I mean, you know, I went to my dealership for the diagnostics. They are good folks. But like hell, I was giving them $250. No, $260 just to do that. Now, they're going to give me a filet mignon and some basic cable with that. Maybe they have a case then. But no. I just want to show that you folks can do it yourself too and save you some money, because if you had my luck, these things are just nothing but money pits of misery. So there's some money I saved there. I mean, I shouldn't complain. I mean, the diagnostics in the motor, somewhere in the ballpark of $200. Considering the module that you can't put in yourself, I mean, I guess $200 beats $2,000, but it's everything else, folks, and it's just adding up. So that's all I wanted to show there. Oh, let me go back to my other example, what I wanted to show you. Here's the old motor as an example. You see where the wires start on this? You want it facing the firewall like this, and the reason for that, you kind of see it here, is so it kind of wraps around the motor like this. I'll show you here on the floor. Right? So that way it wraps around like this, and the reason for that is it does two things. They're not dangling off the bottom here, potentially letting your feet get caught on them, and it just keeps the tension on them, so it keeps it above the motor. So that's the trick to that. That's how you want to mount it in, so that is the right way. And I'm surprised, like, one isn't off center from the other, so that way it could be like, you know, instead of it being exactly 180 degrees from each other, you know, it'd be like a slightly obtuse angle, so there'll only be one way to mount that. Because it seems like it is critical that it matters how that's mounted in. But either way, that is the right way. At least that's how it came out. So there's the old one there. And that's pretty much the end of that. Alright, it's been a while now since the motor's been put in. I think it's fairly sound. So, I'm going to take the trunk release switch. Yes, I had already put a little dielectric grease in there. Push it in like so. Just like so. There we go. No great shakes. Pop the connector back in. And you just make sure all your clips are lined up, because the thing that this clips into is also plastic. You don't want to break that. Granted, you could probably get one from a junkyard, because there's enough of these ending up in the junkyard now, but if you can't find one in the junkyard, that's a dealer-only part, and it's one whole piece that's under the dash, so not only would be a lot of labor to change it, the cost would be ridiculous. Let's just say it'll be enough to make you want to kick the cat when you get home. There we go. I like the snap together toy that it is. Alrighty then. So I can put my sunglasses back in here. Yay! Wait, is this popping? Nope, no it didn't. So there it is. That's pretty much the end of that. It still feels a little choppy from time to time, but it's gotten better with each ignition cycle. If it doesn't get better within the next 24 hours, I am going to try just disconnecting the negative battery terminal, you know, for about a half hour, maybe even overnight if possible, just to wipe everything clean, and then see how that works out. Maybe charge the battery some too. And if you have a motor that's been browning out your car, you want to make sure you have a thoroughly charged battery, because simply driving it just won't be enough sometimes. So that's the advice I got to give on that. If it still feels choppy after you do the job, there is no reflash for the ECU that's currently available. There is nothing to be relearned. So just try the battery cable trick, see what that does. And hopefully this car can just chug along. And that's about it really. And that's a good thing, because I put a lot of other good parts in this car. There's no reason it shouldn't get another 50, maybe even 75,000 miles. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions still, feel free to post them. I'll be more than happy to answer them.